Hey, what do you know? We're back in the car. I don't know if you can super see outside. You might still be able to see some of the ice on the ground. It snowed earlier in the week. The roads were pretty bad, pretty slick. But most of the snow and ice has melted. It's like earlier in this morning, I remember walking outside and I was like, oh, it feels really warm. Maybe it's like 30 degrees now instead of 20. And I was in my car and I was like, yeah, it's actually 30 degrees. But now it actually feels warm. But again, maybe that's just because it's been 20 degrees for the past week, so I don't know. But anyways, as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about Owl House. This is not a huge, comprehensive review of the series as a whole. This is more just I want to talk about the most recent episode, and I do kind of want to give some of my general observations of the show, because I am caught up. Clay and I marathoned the show last year. And for the rest of this video, I'm going to be assuming that you are caught up on the show if you are watching this, or that you don't care about spoilers. I will be talking about the specific things that happen in this episode and focusing on kind of specific elements once I get there. But before I do that, excuse me, I feel like I should talk about some of my general vibes and thoughts on the show. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't want to be just I like it because it sounds yeah, I like it. But it's no. I think it's really good. I enjoy it a lot. I really like this style of Disney show. You know, things like Gravity Falls, Amphibia, DuckTales. Oh, sorry. Mail may have just gotten delivered. I'm not sure. We'll check it later. Anyways, point. I really like these kinds of shows. I love all four of those shows specifically. And from what I understand, I haven't really sat in a lot of research on it, but yeah, the guy who made Amphibia worked on Gravity Falls. Matt Braley, I think is his name. Dana Terrace, who's the head behind Owl House, she worked on Gravity Falls. I don't actually know the specific people who made DuckTales, the reboot, obviously not the original. I'm pretty sure also worked on Gravity Falls. It's the Disney equivalent of Adventure Time. It was this huge show, and then every show that came out of Cartoon Network, I'm not trying to they were all trying to be Adventure Time, but you could feel the Adventure Time influence. It's oh yeah, people who worked on this, they make their own shit now, and it was also generally pretty good. I actually can't really say, because I didn't really watch Adventure Time or regular show. I watched Steven Universe, liked it quite a bit. I think that was really the Cartoon Network show I watched for a while. Aside from, following anime on Toonami and shit. But anyways, I like the show. I really like the world. I fucking love the Boiling Isles. I love how fucking cynical it can be, and it's mostly from Ida. I think Ida is hysterical. I think King is hysterical. I love a lot of the character development in characters like Amity, Willow, and Hunter. Let me try that again. King, I think, has some really good development. Ida gets them too. Luz, I think, is fine. I feel because I've always said, with Clay, I was I really like Owl House. Of these four shows, it's my least favorite. Now, to me, it's kind of the equivalent of saying, oh yeah, this is my least favorite Toy Story movie. It doesn't really matter because I love all of them. I think they're all fantastic. This is my least favorite Trails game. It's Cold Steel 1 overall, but I still really like Cold Steel 1. There are things I like about it. There are things about it I think I like better than some of the other games that I overall rank higher. Owl House is similar. But to me, it comes down to, I really love Dipper and Mabel. I love Dewey. I like Huey a lot. Dewey is okay. Wait, did I say Dewey twice? Louie is my favorite. Huey is my second favorite. Dewey is alright. And Webby is amazing. Anne is great. Anne might actually be my favorite protagonist out of all these shows. And Luz I like her. I enjoy her. I think she can be funny. I think she does have some solid characterization and development. I like some of her, I don't want to say it. It's just some of her issues. But like her homesickness. Episodes that were really dealing with that, I think are really strong. The episode about her dad, I think, is one of my favorites. The entire episode is she's really out of character. I don't know what it is. It was one of those where I'm like, this is bothering me the way she's written. There better be a damn good explanation by the end, because this is off. Okay, that was a damn good explanation by the end. This makes perfect sense. I accept this. I don't think I cried during that episode. It would surprise me if I did, because, like, fuck, that was a really good episode. But I think the episodes that tend to make me cry are what's about Willow, because her story, like, her arc, I think is so fucking good. Spoiler alert, I cried in the recent episode. Like, we'll talk about that when we get to it specific, which I guess we go ahead and should. Like, yeah, I just don't find Luz as interesting as some of those other characters, but I still like her. I'm not like, oh no, I dislike this person, she's annoying, she sucks. Like, no, she's good. I just don't love her as much as the other members of the cast. And when I look at some of the other protagonists of these shows, I just don't like her as much. But I don't have any real problems with Luz. I feel like that's important. I'm not like this character, like I just said, I don't think she actively sucks. She's just not my favorite. But I think she is solid. She does her job well, and the whole rest of the show is also really good. So now I talked about the fact that I do like the show. Let's talk about the episode. And that's not a segue like, I like the show, but this was ass. Like, this was great. I really, really liked it. I remember the first episode of season 3 being, I like this. I can tell the production issues, which was we thought we were getting a whole third season. Disney said, no, you were getting, what is it? I think like 3 45-minute episodes. So, finish your show and then go away, which fucking sucks. And then you can tell in that first episode, like, man, we were going to have a whole slew of adventures in the human world. This shit was going to be fun. This shit was going to be hilarious. Disney, why? Why did you do this? Why do you neuter your good programs, you bastards? But, there were just a few moments. I think a lot of it was kind of near the end where it's like the pacing of this episode is starting to feel a little bit off. And I did not feel that in episode 2. I was like, this actually feels like it's moving very well. It doesn't feel too slow. It doesn't feel too fast. At least for me personally, I thought it was like perfectly paced. This episode, I just kind of noted some moments I found to be really creepy, really funny, and really emotional. So we'll kind of go through them in that order. So the creepy shit, first off, just all the fucking puppets and living dolls. I hate that shit. I loved it, but I hate that shit. Though, like, Night of the Living Dummy episodes of Goosebumps, like, I saw that shit when I was a kid, scared the hell out of me. I'm a lot better with it than I am now. Like if I was, like, 8 and watching this episode, I'd be like, no! And I would have been, like, screaming. I would have, like, run out of the room or some shit. I was terrified of everything. But now I'm like, ooh, that's really cool. I love how this dude, like, Collector, like, he's a little kid. So when he's playing a game with these people, he's literally turning them into toys. That's something that makes sense. That's a really clever idea. It's so creepy. I love it, but I'm also just like, don't get off the screen. Don't do that. This is creepy. I don't want to look at it. And then when Bellows possesses Rain, it's just so unsettling, which another creepy thing is, Bellows is a creepy motherfucker. I love him. I don't know if, I would say he's not my favorite villain of all these shows. That's probably Cypher because of just how much fun he is. But I really like Bellows. I freaking love Philip. I don't know if this is the guy, I feel like I've said this in a video before, but I don't know if it's the guy's actual voice that just sounds like John Hurt, or if he's doing a John Hurt impression, because Bellows kind of looks like the Horned King from Black Cauldron, who is voiced by John Hurt. I'm like, I don't know if that's what you're going for, or if you just naturally sound like that, but I love it. I love this dude's voice every time he talks, whether he's being, like, intentionally creepy, or he's just being Philip. I think it's great. But his new wood demon glowy form thing, I love it. I'm like, this thing is kind of nasty, but in the best possible way. I love how you get to see things from his perspective, and you get to see his brother with just this dagger of Damocles hanging above his head, and his brother just says nothing. He just sits there, stares at him. And Bellows is the one talking. He's like, don't you dare judge me. Like, I did it for your own good. I saved your soul. And I'm like, this... Has he been seeing his brother the entire time? Like, is this a recent thing, like, after the fight with the Collector and shit? Like, is this new, or has this always been a thing? I don't know, because maybe it was, like, after... Excuse me. After he tried to possess Hunter in the last episode, because Hunter is, like, made in the image of his brother. Like, it might be related to that, or it's always been there. Either way, I think it's really interesting. And again, his brother just sitting there with that dagger above his head, like, that's so cool. It's so creepy. I love this shit. But the scene I really remember is Bellows going into his, like, underground lab full of dead bodies. And he's like, oh, this one's not good enough. This one's not good enough. This one... maybe I can use this. And I remember looking at Clay, I was like, you know what, Clay? Disney. Like, when I think of Disney, this is the kind of shit I think about. And then, like, 2 seconds later, Bellows just goes, oh, shut up. And we both laughed really hard at that. It was just the perfect timing of my cynicism, and him telling me to fuck off was beautiful. I absolutely loved it. But, and again, that is... I feel like it is important for me to talk about. It's not just that, like, oh yeah, this episode had some creepy shit, some funny shit, some emotional shit. I want to point it out. The entire show is like that. There's a lot of creepy shit, a lot of funny shit, and really good emotional shit. I think that's really why I like this episode so much. It is, like, an imperfect encapsulation of what the Owl House is. You get all these good character moments, cool world building things, funny shit in the background, and then these really cool magic ideas. And some of them are really unsettling. It's good shit. I love it. So some of the funny stuff. I don't remember who it was that said it. I think it was Willow just being super aggro. Like, yeah, when we meet Bellows again, we're going to punch him through the face. And I think it was Luz's mom was like, do you mean in the face? Like, no, or punch him through the face. I love aggro Willow. She's absolutely fantastic. So Kiki Mora in general, I think is hilarious. I just love how she gets shat on, like, basically the entire second season. Gosh, Bellows' line to her at the end of season 2, you want to help? Wow, fuck, what exactly is it? It's like, go find a hole to wither our way in. Like, it's so cold, it's so savage. I love it. Like, the line is perfect, the delivery is perfect, Kiki Mora's expression is perfect. It's a perfect moment. So anytime she's on screen in this episode, I think it's hilarious. Luz's reaction to realizing who she's dealing with is just no, not you. I laughed so hard at that line. Clay and I immediately both thought, because like we talked about it immediately after, is Final Fantasy X, when you fight Seymour again in the final dungeon. The party's reaction, they're not like, it's you again. Like, I can't believe, like, we have to stop you. You're a monster. It's like, don't you ever give up? Like, they're not even afraid of him anymore. He's not a threat. He's just annoying. It's like how in the first couple episodes of Pokemon, prepare for trouble, make it double. You're like, oh, these guys, they're kind of a threat. They're trying to take our Pokemon. We got to deal with it. And then by episode, 5, they're just annoying. And I don't want to say Team Rocket's annoying. I love Team Rocket. But from the perspective of Ash and Co., they're not threats anymore. They're just irritating. And Luz is, no, not you. And it's that delivery was so funny. That's my favorite moment of the episode. At least in terms of comedy, it's by far my favorite moment of the episode. I mean, it feels weird to say my favorite moment of the season, given how weird the season is. I don't remember a lot of funny shit in season 1, or the first episode, but that's because I watched it back in October. It's been a few months since then. I've played Muv-Luv since then, and I'm depressed again. But anyways, that was real. Oh, and so they talk about what happened back with Principal Bump, because they're in the school, and they're like, oh yeah, a lot of the teachers and the staff, They had to fight off the Collector and his minions, and they got turned into dolls. But we made this statue of him, like, to honor him. It's just like a giant statue of Bump just on a skateboard. I laughed hard at that, too. Like, that's fucking great. I love it. I love this Ding Dang show. Then we get to the emotional moments of the episode. This one is not as emotional, but it's more just like good character stuff. So this one's kind of the same thing. Sorry, brain died for a moment. King handling the Collector, I like a lot. I feel like we are really seeing King's maturity, which was a big thing in season 2, was his development. I like it a lot. I like how he is like, yeah, this is someone who's incredibly powerful, and I have to placate him. But also, this is a child, and I want to do what I can for him, not because I need to save the world, but because I know what that's like, to be a kid and to be alone and not have others like me. And but it's like, I eventually had people, I had Ida, I have Luz. I don't know why I said Ida in past tense. It's not like she died in the episode or anything. It's like, no, it's like, I've got my, like, crew in the Owl House. And me too! Hoot hoot! Speaking of funny shit, we got a Hootie appearance in this episode. Speaking of creepy shit, we got a Hootie appearance in the episode. I fucking love Hootie so much. I love how the Hootie episode in season 2, we're like, there's a Hootie-focused episode. This is just going to be filler, and it's one of the most important episodes of the entire show. Like, it felt like such a troll idea. I loved it so much. It's fantastic. Anyways, point. But King, like, I know what it's like to not have anyone, and then when you do, it's something that helps. It's important. I want to be that for him. I want to be able to help him. And I like how Ida's like, yeah, you've come a long way, kiddo. Like, I'm really proud of you. You're doing a good job. Ida didn't really do much in the episode. I'm just happy to see her. Luz's Palisman hatched, which I did see that in a leak because the episode had leaked. And I remember just being on Twitter and I just saw something called like TOH spoilers trending. I'm like, what is that? What the fuck is TOH? Oh, the Owl House. Oh shit, that's Luz's Palisman. Well, fuck me, I guess. And I was like, I need to immediately not look at this thread because the episode comes out in like 2 weeks and I don't want to get anything else spoiled. So I didn't know anything else. I just knew the Palisman hatched and it was like this lizard thing. It is a snake shifter. It is this Dratini looking thing that can just turn into other animals. And I'm like, snake shifter. Oh, I hate it as much as I love it. And I love it a lot. It's like, I love this. Don't hate the name. It's one of those like slightly painful puns, but I honestly really like it. I like the idea of, I think to me, it's like the fact that Luz can adapt very easily. It's the fact that she can use all different kinds of magic. I feel like it makes sense that her thing is, her Palisman is very fluid. I think that's a cool idea. I like that her thing is, I just wanted to be understood. I almost said some shit, and I was like, uh-oh, I felt that Owl House emotion creeping in, because the show's really good at that. I'm like, this is the show that, for whatever reason, of those 4 shows, is the one that, like, consistently hits me, and somehow I don't like it as much as the others, but I still love it. Again, it's like, I would give them all A+, I would give them all S ranks. It's just, I guess, depending on my mood. Anyways, they're all fucking great. But it's like that moment with her mom, I thought was really strong. I was like, I don't know. I feel like if I watched the show again, I would like Luz a lot more. Like just really knowing where her character goes, what her character is all about. I think I would rewatch and go like, no. I really, really like your character. Kind of what's going on with Stardust Crusaders. Quick tangent, because I don't do enough of those. Clay is rewatching all of JoJo. He's like, I just really want to do that now, and I haven't seen Stone Ocean yet, so I'm going to rewatch them. And then when I get to Stone Ocean, like, that'll be a fresh watch. Excuse me. So I'm not really watching it with him, but I'll hang out with him like for a few episodes or so, and right now he's in Stardust. And my first time through Stardust Crusaders, I did not like Jotaro at all. I thought Jotaro was just cool. He was there to just like, I want to make a cool character, and I was like, he's just boring to me. I don't think Jotaro is that funny. I don't think he's that interesting. He's supposed to be cool, but to me, he's boring. But knowing, like, more about Jotaro and seeing him in the other parts and that, yeah, his whole thing is he's a dork. He is a dork that really likes Clint Eastwood and just wants to emulate Clint Eastwood because he thinks that's what a cool person does. I want to be like that. Is really endearing. Like, after, I guess here's your spoiler warning for Stardust Crusaders, just in case you haven't watched it or interested. But at the end of the part, when Joseph dies, like, he gets fucked up, and then Joseph wakes up because he's not dead, because JoJo bullshit. I love JoJo, but there's some real fucking bullshit where people should die and they don't. Joseph gets up, he's like, hi, I'm actually still Dio, and Jotaro's about to put him in the ground, like, oh, grandson, hold on a second, I'm kidding. I'm just being Joseph Joestar. I'm fine. He's like, okay, old man, prove it. I don't remember exactly what he asked. It's something like, what's the name of the Weird Al parody of Beat It? Eat It. Did I get it right? How should I know? Only you would know a stupid question like that. There's no way Jotaro didn't know the answer to that. That's why he asked the question. But the fact that he's like, no, I'm going to pretend I don't know the answer to that question because only a stupid dork would know it. I think it's really funny and endearing. And yeah, I just kind of like rewatching the parts like, you know, Jotaro's an ass, but he is a good dude. And you really do see his heart for other people, like, throughout the show. I'm realizing I like Jotaro a lot more on a rewatch. I feel like I would probably do the same with Luz. But I said my favorite funny moment of the episode was no, not you. My favorite moment of the episode. A lot of, there's a side plot about Willow and Hunter and Gus just kind of dealing with shit because a lot of shit has happened to these poor kids and they just kind of all need hugs and to be told that they're going to be okay. And how Hunter was possessed and now he's not possessed, but now he's terrified of Bellows and his talisman died. And how Willow is worried about her parents and she knows that she's like, my role in the group is A, Unga Bunga because she's really fucking strong. And 2, I'm kind of the emotional center because people in this group are really good or like really prone to freaking out and shit. And I'm good at talking to them and making them know that things are okay. That's my role. But sometimes the people in that role need to also, sometimes they need to be hugged. Sometimes they're the ones that need to be told that things are going to be okay. They're the ones that need to vent. And the scene at the end, like near the end of the episode with just her, Hunter, and Gus, and them all just kind of hugging each other and talking through the problems, that made me cry. 100%. And the entire time I was watching it, I was thinking, it's another spoiler warning for something else. This is for Final Fantasy IX. If you watched my review of that, there's a part in Final Fantasy IX near the end. It is the You Are Not Alone scene, which, from what I understand, is one of the most iconic parts of the game, one of the most beloved parts of the game, and I fucking hated the entire thing. I could not stand it. And watching this, like, this is exactly why I hate that scene in 9. Because this is everything I want that scene to be. Yes, you can have the characters, like, this is a character whose job in the group is to keep everyone else sane, to help them through their bullshit and be strong. But right now, that character is going through their own bullshit. They need other people to be strong for them so they can heal. I love that. But here's the difference. Zidane is an ass to all of his friends in that scene. And for no reason. I even said in the review, and I said it while I was playing the game, You don't get to talk to Vivi that way. You have no right to talk to Vivi that way. Fuck you, Zidane. No, that is not okay. And in this, Willow and Hunter, who are like not doing well, are not dicks to their friends. They're, even when they're trying to be like, no, like, let's just like, I need to be, there is nothing wrong with saying to someone, thank you for reaching out to me, but I need to be alone. Because sometimes we heal better by ourselves. Sometimes we heal better with other people. A lot of it depends on the person. A lot of it depends on the context. I've had moments where I have thought, I don't want to talk to someone about this. There's other times where I've been like, I need to. But you don't get to be a dick to the people who love you. And that's not what happened here at Owl House. It was like, no, like, I'm fine. There's not a problem. You don't have to talk to me about this. I'm good. It's like, you are clearly lying, but you're not, like, you're pushing them away, but you're not being awful about it. Thank you for basically doing that scene and doing it right. Again, I know a lot of people like that scene. Everything is subjective when it comes to fiction. If you think that scene worked, that's awesome. It may have worked for you. I know it worked for Clay. He and I have talked about it. It does not work for me, but the one in Owl House really did. You know, throw some Puss in Boots in there. I thought it did it just right. So this episode was great. Really looking forward to the next one, which is going to be the series finale. So there's a lot to cover in 45 minutes. We've got, let's see, we gotta do whatever that shit was with the collector. Like, I forgot about that. The prophecy about he'll, like, set the sky on fire. I guess it's really gonna turn into the Boiling Isles. Like, that's gonna happen. I assume they have to beat the collector. They have to beat Bellows. We have to get some closure on the, like, Caleb scenario. Someone might die. King probably becoming a full-fledged Titan. Luz making her final decision about which world she wants to stay in. An epilogue will probably happen. Like, there's a lot that has to happen. I don't know. I think there was supposed to be 45 minutes. I would be really happy if this one was a little bit longer, but I'm excited for it. I really am. I think it comes out in April. So April's gonna be a banger. I get to watch the Mario movie and I get to watch the Owl House finale. So looking forward to it.